Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Sean with My Breakthrough Media, and today we're switching it up a little bit. We are in the office where I do the bulk of my editing. And so last week we looked at shooting B-roll, and this week we're going to be looking at editing B-roll for your weekend experience. So this week we're going to be doing some editing. Now, I am a Premiere Pro user. I use the Adobe Suite, and I'm editing on a 2017 iMac. So I'm going to show you how to edit that B-roll. So let's jump into it. All right, so basically the biggest thing when you're editing is to make sure that you have organized folders. It's gonna help you out so much. So I am shooting for Freedom Life, which you see right here. And the video that I shot was on the 26th of January. And so I like to have really organized folders. So you can see here I have project files, my exports, my B-roll footage, my audio, and any additional files that I might need. So I created a project file for us, and I'm just gonna open that up right here. Okay, so I have my project file open, and I'm also going to open up the finished file so that we can breeze through this and you don't have to spend an hour or two with me. Okay, so you have your project file started, which is great. We're going to go back to our Finder and go to my B-roll folder and select my B-roll and just simply bring it into the project. Yay! They imported. Cool. All right, so the files are in. Now let's set up some bins just to organize everything so that it just helps you to be able to find things a lot easier. So let's go with clips. I'm going to put all the clips in here. Depending on how you want to do it, maybe even you want to set up like a first and second service bins. Totally up to you. I'm going to do a sequences. And I'm going to do audio. And we'll see where that lands us. So we have the clips here, and basically the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through all the clips and mark out the usable footage. So it's really simple what I do. Basically you click on the clip, and I'm going to say, okay, set my in and out point. You just hit I for your input and O for your out point, but basically I'm gonna go through these clips here, kind of scrub through and see what are the usable points, make sure it's in focus. So we got this, it's a little shaky there, keep it smooth. Okay, so that would be a shot there, hit my INO point. Then I'm going to create a new timeline, and I'm going to say this is going to be clips. Set up a sequence that will be 4K. So that's what I shot everything in, 2160, 40 by 2160. Okay, so this is the shot. So say this is my point here for my in and out. This is what I'm going to use. I'm going to bring the shot down and say, okay, this is my clips timeline, bring it right there. And basically I'm going to go through all the shots, and maybe even I like this better. Oh, nope, it's going places. There you go. Maybe when it comes back. That's nifty. So do the same thing, bring down just the video part. And then this is the shot I was on, and I'm going to label that mango. Why? Because I like mangoes. But basically I label it so that I know that I've already used it, so that when I'm trying to go through the clips, if I have to go through the clips again, I don't want to look through it because I already said, hey, I already used this. It's just really nice for organizing. And so from there, it's really just kind of breezing through it. So I already went through and I've already done this already. So I figured this would be a lot easier than me editing all this right here on camera in front of you. So I'm going to go to my sequences for the project that I've already created and go to here, clips. Basically what I do is I separate all the clips into different little like clusters. And then I just put a little title here that says B-roll decor, or people B-roll, or worship B-roll, or speakers, or kidsmen. So that way I can really easily access all of my shots that I said, oh, that was a usable point for these different elements. Okay, so for this video, I know I want to use a segment of my pastor speaking as like the underlining audio. So basically I shot different segments of my pastor speaking. He started out his sermon really going for it, and he did a great description of what our church is all about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically take that description, I'm going to have that as our underlining audio.
But you're new to our church. Our church is called Freedom Life.
So obviously you can tell I didn't start filming until this point, but that's okay. I can use the audio there, and then I can put B-roll over top of it. So but I really like this opening segment that he shared. So basically I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to take this into a new sequence. And that sequence I'm going to have as highlight video. Yeah, highlight video. We'll do that. And then I'm going to copy and paste that there, Command C, Command V, change the sequence settings back to 38 for 2160, Excellent. And so this is going to be our underlining audio, and I'm just going to go through this real quick, and I want to make sure that it feels right. I'm going to take out any ums or uhs, and so I can really kind of dial in what this audio is, so that way I'm going to put music underneath it, and then that'll establish the feel, and from there I'm going to put B-roll over top. So let's just hear what that sounds like.
If you're new to our church is called Freedom Life.
So I'm just going to take out that right there, just kind of bring that.
Is called Freedom Life, and we are connected with a variety of great organizations. We're a spirit-filled, life-giving church that believes that.
Now I'm going to take out that segment just because it doesn't super tie into what he had already said, and I want it to be about Freedom Life. So I'm going to take this out.
And we are connected with a variety of great organizations. We're a spirit.
I'm going to go back into that segment there just because he really starts to go into what he's going into what Freedom Life is. So I'm going to take that out. Hear what that sounds like from the beginning.
Our church is called Freedom Life. We're a spirit-filled, life-giving church that believes that God's power is not for yesterday, and it's for today. We believe in having sound doctrine and theology, but the God of the Bible still lives.
So once again, I'm going to take out that you want these, every word, you want it to be powerful and you want it to be prominent, and so I'm just going to take out that boom. So I like that. I think all those audio segments feel natural and feel organic, and so that's what I'm going to have as the audio piece. And now it's on to finding music. So I want something that's going to be upbeat, and so I used a song that we often are using around the church, or I hear it before and after service. It's a song called By the Blood. I am going to listen to it and kind of figure out the parts I want to use. It starts out really upbeat, which is really cool, and I think it'd be a good vibe. We might be able to use that last hit as a segue, so I'm going to bring that down.
If you're new to our church is called Freedom Life. We're a spirit-filled, life-giving.
The music's getting too loud. Bring that down. We're going to make sure we can hear him clearly.
God's power is not for yesterday, and it's for today. We believe in having sound doctrine and theology, but the God of the Bible still lives. We don't just worship the past.
Okay, so I'm pretty happy with how that starts for the video, and now I'm going to be looking at how to end it better. Obviously, it feels natural if the song starts as the audio starts, and it feels natural if it ends as the audio ends. So I'm going to go to the end of the song and see if there's a way that I can just take the ending and kind of plug it in so that, just see if there's a part that will work. I'm going to try to take it without their singing just because it might be distracting with Sam speaking. So we can probably take from that drum hit there. It's just like a big hit that'll be a good taking point where you can splice that audio. Okay, cool. And then we'll just fade that out. So let's see what that'll look like and how we can piece that together. Why don't we even just see what it looks like if I just bring this over, because I want this to end roughly when that audio portion ends. So let's just bring it over and see what that kind of feels like. Okay, so it's actually pretty close. So you hear it does like that little ding thing. It sounds so weird when I did that. But there's like that really big like ding moment. So I'm going to try to loop that over top of each other. So it does that right at this like little waveform here, and then I'm going to go over here. So it does it right at the start of this. So if I just trim this, bring this over, it's probably going to sound fair. Perfect. Great. So that way it feels pretty looped if we were to listen to this with
You're
everything.
in our church is called Freedom Life. We're a spirit-filled, life-giving church that believes that God's power is not for yesterday, it's for today. We believe in having sound doctrine and theology, but the God of the Bible still lives. We don't just worship the past, we live from the Word of God into the future.
Yeah, so it sounds pretty good. And then at the end here,
good and into your life, that you have a freedom in life that only He can offer.
perfect. And then we can just fade that out. I like that a lot. So we'll just put a fade on this. Okay, so now it's finding the B-roll because I'm really happy with the message we have. And then I'm also happy with the audio underneath. And so now it's time to look at the clips and find B-roll that's going to match that. So obviously he's talking about Freedom Life. So
new to our church is called Freedom Life.
He says, if you're new to our church is called Freedom Life. What B-roll would support if you're new to our church? I think having B-roll that is of people would do well, just because, hey, you're new to our church, you want to meet somebody, you're new. And then obviously there's a moment where he says Freedom Life. So I think if I did a logo of Freedom Life, that logo that I shot outdoors of the banner kind of going back and forth, I think that could be a cool tie-in. So let's just bring a couple of those clips in. So the B-roll shots that I'm going to use, I'm going to try to use from the people, just because I think that's going to really support, hey, you're new here to Freedom Life. So I'm probably going to, I shot some stuff during the huddle, but I'm probably not going to use that just because it doesn't really support the message that I'm going for. And see here, we got some B-roll of someone smiling with his kid. So that'll be good stuff. And then just kind of sifting through here, trying to find really happy moments. All of this stuff is good. So I've already done this before, but essentially whenever I look at a shot and I say, hey, I would use that, I just lift it to the next layer. So everything's on video layer 1. If I want to use that shot, I'll lift it to video layer 2 as a way of differentiating which shots I've used and haven't used. So I really liked this shot here. It just, warm, inviting father with a child. And then obviously we have this shot here, which I think is a great smile. Those two shots I think could do a great segue as the beginning. So I'm going to grab those two, Command C, copy it, Command V, paste it. And I'll start with her because it's just a good smile. And then I'm going to come over here, bring this down, try to find a...
New to our church is...
So it's more that first segment where she has a big smile. So I'm just going to take that.
If you're new to our church is called Freedom Life.
And I'm going to go for when he has, you want to really maximize on whenever the biggest movements are.
Our church is called Freedom.
So I'm going to stop right there. And then we have a shot of the banner outside, which is under the B-roll of decor. And we'll go this shot here of the banner. And we'll paste that there.
If you're new to our church is called Freedom Life. We're a spirit.
Perfect. I might bring this back just a touch so that when he says Freedom Life, it really hits.
It's called Freedom Life. We're a spirit.
Perfect. And then he says, what do you say next?
Spirit-filled, life-giving church that believes that God's power is not for yesterday, it's for today.
Okay, so spirit-filled, life-giving church. So what shots are going to support that? I really think that worship shots are probably going to support that. That's when you're going to see the biggest movement. So spirit-filled. So this shot specifically, one of the worship leaders, she raises her hand. Kind of a great segue. We're spirit-filled. Copy this, paste it there.
Spirit-filled, life-giving church.
Perfect. Basically, I'm going to go through all these moments and hear what he's saying and try to get B-roll that's going to support those moments. So I'm going to skip ahead here to what I have already completed.
If you're new to our church is called Freedom Life. We're a spirit-filled, life-giving church that believes that God's power is not for yesterday, it's for today. We believe in having sound doctrine and theology, but the God of the Bible still lives. We don't just worship the past, we live from the Word of God into the future. And we believe that God has a hope and a future for every single person that's sucking oxygen on the planet. God desires to do something good into your life, that you have a freedom in life that only He can offer.
Okay, so that's how I pieced together the B-roll for this film. So now obviously we have a couple different layers. So we have the pastor speaking, we have the audio underneath, we have the B-roll on top. And I'm going to do one more thing, which you can see here is this hidden layer. I'm going to add text over top. Reason being is because if this gets posted on social media, the majority of the people are not going to turn on their audio. They're just going to look at it, which as a video editor is very painful because I spent a lot of time on this audio. But people are just simply not going to turn on the audio. That's how social media works. So basically I went through and I put the text of what he's saying over top of the times that he says it. And I wanted people to be able to read it and have almost like declarative statements of what this church is about. So the idea is you see a logo of the Freedom Life banner right here. And then right after that, you see Spirit-filled, life-giving church. Freedom, and I want people to almost walk away saying Freedom Life is a Spirit-filled, life-giving church. And then God's power is for today. I don't want to say it's not for yesterday because I want to stay away from negative statements. I want these to be positive, declarative statements. So God's power is for today.
We believe in having sound.
So sound doctrine, because sound doctrine and theology are very similar concepts. So we don't need to have all of that, but sound doctrine, God lives. I want people to see God lives.
Worship the past. We
live from the Word of God, which is another one of those positive statements.
From the Word of God into the future. And we believe that God has a hope and a future for every single person.
So, once again, positive declarative statements. We believe God has hope, future for everyone. And once again, God desires to do good in your life. Freedom and life that only He can offer. So you're really trying to find those positive declarative moments and maximize on them. So that's the reason why I put the text over top and with the Freedom Life logo for branding. Now, I know what some of you are saying. Sean, where are those fancy light leaks? Where are those fancy glass overlays or, those cool transitions? And I wanted this to be a simple introduction to Freedom Life. Freedom Life as the whole, as far as our style, we don't generally use a lot of those kind of transitions or light leaks or overlays, so I want to keep it simple and stay away from those for this video. Also, I was trying to have a really quick turnaround time on this. I shot it on a Sunday, and I also edited it that Sunday. So that's a little look of what I do to edit B-roll for my church. Hope this helps you in some way. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing to edit your B-roll, so make sure to comment in the comments. But I'm excited to share with you more stuff and more things that I'm learning in how to do great digital media for your church. Hope this encouraged you. Have a great day. See ya.